Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Front Mission... That's not the name of the game, Mobius Front. Mobius Front 83. Front Mission is a whole different thing, also pretty fun. So today I think we're concluding Chapter 1, probably, and I'm hoping we're going to get a little bit more story. I know they want to deal it out slow, because probably there's not a huge amount of narrative, but I would like it if we maybe dealt it out just like a little bit faster than this. Although I suppose the speed of the narrative has a lot to do with, you know, the speed of my play. So this time we actually have totally even deployment. They got 10-10, we got 10-10. Which makes me think that there's going to be some other kind of trick involved. We are allowed to pull a Cobra during Phase 2, which is fun. That's a fun time. And there is a TIS 330 on this level. So it's hard for me to think that there's going to be any sense in doing anything other than let's play 2 tanks. And then the question is third tank versus some other stuff. So now we have access to this self-propelled howitzer, which, as we know, is a thing that can be very annoying. However, as we also know, the enemy... It really depends on the enemy's composition, but it tends to be the case that if we are playing tanks, then the things that are good against tanks are things that the howitzer can't affect, because they're other tanks. So probably, I'm more inclined to think that, like, if we're going to be up against tanks, with enough trees and enough forethought, sometimes infantry units, and I say trees and forethought, what I mean is, if the enemy plays badly enough, sometimes infantry units can be really helpful. I'm wondering if it's, like, two of these guys, or if it's one of these and a helicopter for quick movement and vision. I mean, because there's certainly value in that, right? I think we're going to want to get guys into these trees as quickly as possible. It's still going to be better to start here than on the road, even with the bonus move speed on the road, because it's too much extra distance to cover. We're definitely going to do this. And then I don't think it makes sense to play a pair of utility trucks. So we're already, like, these are really powerful against infantry, and they're pretty good against helicopters. So I guess that's a concern if I think the enemy's going to use a lot of helicopters. Does the APC's gun shoot air? It does, but it can't shoot after moving. So the question really comes down to how many helicopters do we think they're going to use? Because if they go for more of a ground vehicle lineup, then we'd prefer the Iroquois. If they're going deep on helicopters, then a pair of Jeeps can totally help control that. Obviously, the helicopter has the other advantage of just giving us more bodies in general, which is to say more health resources to spend to slow the enemy down. I think I'm going to prefer this for both the vision and the move speed. And because I'm more afraid of vehicles than I am of helicopters. Maybe that's not sensible, but that's where we're at. It is a shame to not start with this captured, but I didn't. If we had taken a Jeep, we would have been allowed to, because the deployment zone, obviously, is based on the length of the unit's movement. I think we're going to have to just stop this first tank right here for the turn, because we really, really need to get you to the woods as quickly as possible. This tank will be able to move to this space next turn. I think we'll see exactly how has speed 4 on roads interacts with starting not on a road tile and trying to end not on a road tile. And then we went here because this allows us to disembark into the woods immediately. So probably... Do we want to just set up the anti-tank guys right here? That would allow them to shoot tanks that are coming around the corner. Maybe it's better to play them back here and have them play like this angle. I don't like the fact that this is 4 tiles in length, because it means that there is still a play where the enemies get past us without ever being in danger. Which obviously this doesn't have that problem, but this is a lot harder to defend against enemy infantry. I'm going to go for this. We're just going to step lively here. This is my hope. Alright, bring it, enemy forces. Alright, so they are up already. You do that setup, and I think we are stepping forward. We're going to get hit a little bit here. Okay, so they got 2 of their tanks. Does this work? This does not work. Okay. So I can move to here. This is 4 tiles, but yeah, it's a little wonky with the it's a little wonky with the speed 4 only on roads, and it's not necessarily described entirely clearly. Alright, so we're going to drop off... Maybe I want to drop them off here instead. I was thinking, you know, obviously, like, this is a valuable crescent of tiles to grab, but also, we need to get this APC tanked up. If we set up here and release our guys like that, which is what I was intending to do, it's going to be 2 moves before we're like... I would like to set up here, ideally, and we can't do that even in 2 turns from here. So I'm going to take us right here. And we're going to unload next turn and then drive to where we're trying to actually be. And you are going to... Boy, what are you going to do? So our tanks' guns can shoot helicopters, and their tanks' guns cannot. From what we know right now, it's totally safe to bring this helicopter forward. And if their units cost the same thing that our units cost, then 2 tanks plus 2 trucks is their whole 10 points of deployment. So we're perfectly safe to move forward right now. We might have to draw back after they deploy their dudes. Okay, their stuff does not cost the same as our stuff. Well, good to know, I guess. So what? Their trucks probably are 2. Well, maybe these trucks are only 1 because they contain fewer guys than ours do. Our trucks... No, you know what? Our trucks were 1. It's our APCs that are 2. Yeah, okay, that's my bad. So this is then 8 points of body, which means this guy is probably the rest. Well, now we know about this at least. My poor helicopter is going to take a little bit of damage here. It can't be killed, but he could knock it down to 1 HP, potentially. Okay, we got lucky. I do like got lucky. I do not like this. Can he see... He can shoot here. Okay. So, let's... Who's getting in the trees? So we're definitely going to want infantry crossing. I'm pretty sure we want to do this. Form a wall in front of this guy. And then it's like, do we put the 2 rifle teams here and move kind of like forward and up? That makes a lot of sense to me as a way of guarding, and then we just let the anti-tank team off here, and maybe they just set up here? Something like that. I think that's going to be the play. But they could end up in this other copse of trees. We'll see what happens. Alright, and then you guys got to get forward in a hurry. Oh! Hey! It's an ATGM that I am surprised by. Well, that's hugely bad. Hugely bad. So this thing only costs... Maybe these only cost 2 points? They definitely shouldn't only cost 2 points, but it almost has to be the case, right? Because otherwise we're looking at 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. But this can't be 1. So this is 2, and these are 2, despite the fact that 4 and 5 are not even, like... In terms of the kinds of weapons that are available, 4 and 5 are not super different health values. In theory, it's the difference between the tank being able to kill them in 1 shot on the move and not being able to, but because of the randomness in the attack rolls, it's functionally already the case that you can't kill them in 1 shot. So... it's just another advantage the enemies have over us, you know, to be overwhelmed by our mighty human brain. Alright, get down here, and is there anything else down here? There's another truck. Okay. So, that pretty much confirms that this is 3 trucks, plus 3 of these, plus 1 of those. God, their stuff just doesn't cost anything at all, huh? Well, that's rough, man. That's a rough situation. And we still have to set this thing up before it can even be useful. Brutal. That's brutal stuff. Okay. Well, the good news is they've given us the opportunity to use infantry against vehicles. Should be a thing that very nearly doesn't happen, but the AI doesn't always make great decisions. Wow. Minimum damage. Weird. Who would have thought? I want to capture the point, but I think moving is too dangerous with this thing still being at 3 health. Okay, that helps. That helps a lot. How do I want to deal with you? What is the right way to deal with you? What is the right way to deal with any of this? So I'm of two minds here. One thing I'm thinking is fall back to here, or maybe even here, to threaten the anti-tank vehicles. The other thing I'm thinking is walk forward into the trees with the hopes of eventually deploying forward. But obviously, they're both long-term plans, because we're talking about like at least 2 tiles worth of movement and then a setup turn. And it's very difficult to know what the battlefield is going to look like by the time any of that would complete. But I think we're going to try it this way. And then I might... I think I'm going to have the helicopter move forward to here. Well, no, that's not going to work, because we have to be able to shoot at these guys while they're camouflaged. Maybe move it to here, because they can't hit aircraft with their gun anyway, and just like make it clear to them that they're not allowed to set up here, or I will land and machine gun them. Because we need some kind of solution to that. And then... do we walk these guys forward? Walking these guys forward doesn't really put them in a lot of danger. There's only one thing over here that can shoot them from more than one... well, I guess this anti-aircraft gun has 4 range and can target infantry. So we're exposing them to that, which can be fired on the move. So they could like roll around here and shoot us. But still, that wouldn't be lethal. I think we do this to threaten the tank even more. I think we can force it back. Also, important to note, we can prevent it from being able to move forward. Like this makes it very, very difficult for them to actually capture any new points. Unfortunately, their reinforcements were a little closer to their side of the map than I would like, and their reinforcements are going to be able to reach us pretty quickly. Okay, did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Well, I would like to say that I think that those guys have done some fine work, and then they're just going to play helicopters forward. Okay, that makes sense. That doesn't strike me as a bad play. So we're definitely just gonna mow these guys down. You need to land and pressure this guy, and then we need to relocate such that we break his line of sight. You guys are gonna move to here. I'm debating which one of these two takes the shot at the tank. Because it's either this guy sacrifices to take out the tank, allowing this guy to move up here and really solidify our control of this area. Or we take the shot here and this guy falls back, and then we've sort of just lost this as a unit anyway, right? Because we can't advance it on anyone while it has 1 health. It's functionally already dead. I'm gonna have it take the shot. Killing an enemy unit and then consuming one enemy unit's turn, I think, is the best we can hope for. And then... yeah, I think we are totally going to do this. So, this helicopter has... that's the visual design for their anti-tank unit? I think so. The rifle looks a little weird. The lower guy in the silhouette in the 2-unit space almost looks like a sniper, but I think it's just what their normal battle rifle looks like. So that's 2 anti-tank teams. This is just an attack helicopter. It does not have the big, powerful rockets. But what it does have is a turn of positioning advantage, which is very difficult to overcome in actuality. Okay, so there are places where we can go where we are safe from both of their anti-tank units. For the turn, at least. And then we can, you know, become a threat in a moment here. And I think it is safe enough to roll you guys forward. Well, if we do that, then they're immediately going to get attacked from here. Right, like this thing runs up, shoots them once, and then they just have to back up, because if they try to set up to be able to fire, they're dead. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to move them, because they just die. However, moving to here is interesting. If we do this, then potentially... It's a little tricky. If we do this, and they bring something forward to this space to fire on us, then that exposes it to fire from our tank. Right, and we have no move fire from there. I think I'm going to do that. There's some danger here of like them just killing this guy and then just moving to this space and firing and not moving something here to finish the job, which would mean we trade anti-tank unit for nothing, but I don't think they're smart enough to do that, basically. Alright, and then I think we probably do want a Cobra, but we gotta be super careful with it because they have theirs in the air already. And the rotary cannon on this thing is just going to get 1 damage on our Cobra, and there's nothing we can do about that. But we do have anti-helicopter guns, so we just deploy our helicopter near those guns. He has 2 range, so yeah, it would definitely be dangerous for them to commit deep enough to do any damage to me here. Another thing I could do, I suppose, is just deploy to, like, here. Hold on, does that... Yeah, we have... Okay. So that forces the anti-tank car back. I think that's a good idea. And then we have 6 more points. It's probably just tank, if we're being honest. But maybe I want to bring in... like, tank, jeep... You know, I'm just thinking to shoot the other... because they did deploy 2 helicopters. And we're hoping this was 6 points of their thing, so probably they have a tank coming and something else. So being able to shoot down those things on the move is important. I guess that still might make tank the right play. Because if we deploy the machine gun, which has if we deploy the jeep, which has a machine gun that's roughly as effective as the tank's machine gun, versus helicopters, then that means we also get to run one of these. But what you're really gaining there is mostly infantry. Like, you're never going to get to shoot in an enemy vehicle with the setup launcher. Like, setup weapons are functionally very close to useless due to the fact that we are always on offense. Take the howitzer, except that, again, all of their vehicles, even their long-range anti-armor vehicles, are armored themselves, which makes this completely useless. Certainly, like, I would be hesitant to take this at 1 point. I cannot imagine paying 2 points for it. That seems like choosing to lose. It's basically like 2 weaker guns versus 1 better gun. I'm gonna take the tank. It's so hard to deal with a tank. The game is so much about tanks. Okay, no surprises there. Nor there. Now that catches me off guard a little bit. That was more aggressive than I was expecting. So that makes this position tricky. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move this to here. No, we're not. And then we're going to... None of this stuff can fire at aircrafts. So that's pretty great. We'll just do a gentle missiling here. I was going to shoot him in the back and then have the tank roll over and shoot him in the front and have that be the end of that. But apparently not. What is your... Okay, so you can't shoot here, but you actually have pretty good view of the battlefield. Yeah, I think maybe we'll just set you up right here. And then life is tricky for this tank now. So we kill this guy, that's no problem. We probably just have to have you fall back. The Duster will probably just kill you if it gets to shoot at you, and even if it doesn't, they shoot you with the Duster and then they shoot you with the Cheyenne. Yeah, I think I just fall back here. And we're going to lose a lot of vision, but it's fine, we'll get it back. Alright, we do that. So, if we had rolled better on the damage here, if we'd gotten the 3, I might feel a little bit safer just moving the tank up and trying, but I think we're just going to leave the tank exactly where it is for the moment, because I think that moving up is probably suicide. Does this space have... Yeah, okay. If this guy couldn't see there, then it might be reasonable to move the tank up, at least to threaten these guys, but as it is now, we're not going to accomplish anything by moving him up, and I want him here to help protect the choke point. So I think we're good for the turn. And it's just a matter of bleeding out their vehicles. Okay, those guys moving is a big deal. Okay, a lot of interesting stuff there. So first of all, obviously... Okay. 2 to 6? Yeah, 2 to 6. Alright, let's give him one of these. There we go. You guys are just going to set up, although there's almost no chance you'll actually get to do anything. That's good news. And then... I'm not going to push forward. I'm going to try to, like, shield these guys a little bit. If they want to run people around here to finish them off, I think that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. And then... I mean, we don't think they have anything over here that damages aircraft, right? Oh, they have the helicopter. We know that they ran a helicopter to there. If I move to here, they will be able to fire at us. And because of the mechanics of helicopter guns, they will have an advantage, because I'll have to do a shot on the move, then they'll get a stationary. So we probably can't really use this helicopter to menace those guys, unfortunately. What we can do with it is... move over here. So we didn't actually see where that helicopter ended its turn, right? We saw it enter this space, but it... I mean, if it entered this space, it probably ended here. So if we just move beyond 2 tiles, and we just fire some... move more than 2 tiles away from that, and then just fire some shots, we should be... yeah, should be clear to just pick some damage up. So I'm going to work on this guy. Alright, super lucky. Good, good, good. And we found our TIS-330 crew, which is information that hopefully we will get to make use of at some point. Alright, now if he wants to move over and shoot at me with his helicopter, he's the one in the disadvantaged position. Okay, I think triple move forward, yeah, triple move forward totally lets us hit this guy, and his missiles are incapable of killing a tank in 1 hit. So I'm absolutely willing to just get up here and do some damage. We're gonna capture this space now, finally. I think it's actually very safe to do this. And then I know this guy's here, but I kind of think that the right plan is just roll the chopper forward and cut down their chopper. Because it's actually, like, super dangerous, right? Alright, and now, who's the sucker who's relying on infantry? It's not me. At this point, probably you guys move forward a little bit. And I don't know... We didn't kill that anti-air car, right? The Duster is still around. So it's over here somewhere. And then we know they have at least 1 more anti-tank thing here. And I think we have a fair number of their deployment points unaccounted for. So I'm gonna just pass like this, I think. They can't walk into the forest safely. Which they didn't know. They didn't have vision of these guys, probably. Obviously, now we're gonna cut that dude to pieces. He's gonna come in to take the shot on the chopper, because he's got it, which is gonna turn out to be a death knell. We're gonna take some shots here. I mean, we give him the big missile, right? Yeah. That's not a real plan. You can't solve that problem that way. And then we just roll up with our tanks. I don't know that there's... We have to watch those guys, but aside from that, I don't know that there's a lot else that they can do to us at this point. We're definitely going to want to move you up. And here, we'll move these guys in, and can you... Yeah, this is an APC. We can load them in there next turn. And I think we might move... We could potentially exert a little bit of control in this direction now. It may well be the case that all this does is bait some of their units forward in a desperate, frenzied attempt to kill our anti-tank unit, which I'm fine with. But yeah, hey, what a surprise. Vehicles rule the day, right? Let's just get rid of these guys so that this is a safe play. We have to be a little bit cautious because they do have some anti-tank teams over here. We have no idea where that other anti-tank vehicle is. So this move could kill our helicopter. With no forward information, it's tricky. I'm going to do this. And then this. Those guys are not in a position where they can fire at... Yeah, okay. This space is unsafe, and that space is unsafe. We do have 3 range, so... Oh, really? That's a shame. Well, I mean, we could just roll the chopper up there, get some vision, and dust these guys. Which I think is probably what I'm going to do. You guys load in. So we'll play it as far back as I can safely play it. But right here, I'm not going to get a lot of sight. I'm still going to do it this way. Oh, right, I have to use the missiles at this range. Well, that's fine. Better these guys die than they not die. Now, these guys know that they are in danger. Alright, infantry largely ineffective at things. Okay. Here we got this guy. And we know that their anti-tank infantry moved, so they aren't set up anymore. So I think probably it's the case that the vehicles that can move forward more aggressively really need to. Okay, here's that Cheyenne, which is not a major concern. I think we're just on the hunt at this point. And we can have the APC grab this thing and then unload those guys into there and set up and stuff. Alright, so all this is very straightforward. I think I am going to come down here and just blast that anti-tank vehicle. Oh, there's a couple of them. Oh, and I came down in a position where I can't do that thing. Well, I can do nothing. That'll show them. This is just a show of force. Look at this helicopter I have. Aren't you impressed by it? I'll say this. With the super powerful attack helicopters, they have certainly made it not just a game of tanks. We have other concerns. They are now in a position where they have to kill this tank during their turn or I win, and I'm pretty sure they literally can't, so I think we got it. I'm just gonna set you guys up right here, I think. Can I... Okay, yes. I wasn't sure if setting up would make me... If having done a setup on that turn would make me unable to deploy. So yeah, we do have to care about more things now. It may well be the case that the frustration I'm experiencing about the game being just like entirely based on tanks and the tank damage being super random is because the early parts of the game are just intentionally simplified. They don't show you all the things. Oh, I forgot to... Darn it, I forgot to go get that TIS-330 team. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do that off camera. I'll go back and get that, and we'll start the next episode with us decoding that message.
We've heard from your leaders. They told us quite a story. Your world was dying, so you came here. Something about using a quantum gate? Must have been hard. What happened to your Earth?
Sure, it was.
Was it a war? Nuclear war?
No, not that. I almost wish it was, instead of what actually happened.
Now see, this right here, this is the thing I'm interested in. I want to know what actually happened. Alright, the Battle for Wisconsin. D Troop is the reconnaissance arm of the 194th Armored. It is operating behind enemy lines to investigate a strange phenomenon. Dark zones that can't be penetrated by any known imaging techniques. Meanwhile, diplomatic communications with the enemy are established, revealing them to be an American military from a parallel Earth devastated by an unknown event. I think... So obviously, I knew this is what was going on because they talk about it on the store page for the game. I think this is the thing about the game that's really interesting, and I think they wait too long to divulge it, but maybe they just assume that everybody will have seen the store page, and so they'll already know the deal.
Oh, God damn it! You don't need to hit every hole in the road, Trooper.
Sorry, sir.
I mean, how else are we going to make the Jeep do those sick jumps, though?
You're gonna be sorer than a pig that lost a shit-eating contest.
I'll try to avoid him, sir.
No, don't slow down. Ivan will notice this any moment now. Reckon ordering point should be about 2 clicks out. Ready to pop the lid on whatever these fuckos are hiding?
Sir, yes, sir.
I don't know if fucko is accepted military terminology. Alright, so we got 15 deployments right up front. They got 10 on Phase 3, but phases are moving a little faster than we're used to. And we gotta go quick. So, we're being given access to only 2 tanks, and they come in with passengers. I mean, how effective is Go Fast gonna be, I wonder? Let's definitely bring a tank, and potentially 2 tanks, but certainly at least 1. We will bring a Jeep, so it's like heavy machine gun Jeep versus this guy. I think I'm going to do this. And then, I mean, I want to have a forward observation helicopter. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we know now the answer to my question of what else is already going to be on the table is a huge number of things, actually. So this is just an improvised gun truck. It is just a truck with a gun on it. Does not move and then fire. We also saw something as I was flying through here, and I did not exactly notice what it was. Which is to say that Go Fast is not actually an option. We will have to fight. We need the other tank. That said, we can do some amount of Go Fast. I really wish that this thing had just a one-range gun or something. You would probably never use it. It's absolutely just for me to feel better. But I'm so nervous about taking a unit that has 2 ammo, and then it's useless. We still might. Let's bring in one of these. You know, infantry aren't literally useless. They're close. They're closer than I would like, but they're not literally useless. And then we have 5 points left. I mean, it feels like we should probably have... I should have deployed one of the tanks down here. I don't know why. I was thinking, like, this is our end of the tug of war. So... Hold on a second. All control points in any order. Okay, I was going to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm noticing all of these are indicated as though they are currently active. So we do have the Jeep to run up and grab that. Do I then want another Jeep for down here? We don't necessarily have to do a lot of fighting. I absolutely should have deployed the tanks down here, though. Well, whatever. There's probably going to be stuff to fight up here, too. So how are we planning on dealing with the vehicle hidden in the woods? I didn't see if it was armored. A vehicle that can move and shoot. Probably a good idea for this. Let's do that, and then, like... Do I want another observation helicopter, or do I just want... Let's bring a couple of these Jeeps. We've not used the mortar team at all. So So I don't know, we have no idea how many points worth of dudes are already on the table, but I assume it's going to be enough that Phase 3 adding 10 points of dudes is a problem. So, I mean, you're just kind of on your own here. I apologize that this is a dangerous thing to do, but you guys, somebody's got to find out. So, anti-armor team kills the Jeep. Bad news. This is one of these guys, and it's already set up. Well, it's not great. So we can threaten that anti-armor team with our own stuff. His range is only 3. But he can't even move and then fire the machine gun, so we're okay approaching there. Which one of you two do I care less about? You, probably? Okay, it's one of those. Well, we got some good news on this one. This thing we can actually, like, probably fight with infantry. Yeah, we flew through it, flew past it too fast, and I did not know what we were up against. So let's get a quick look over here. Okay, so actually the answer is they deployed something in the neighborhood of like 50 points worth of guys. It's just a really huge number, and there is no way we could possibly hope to compete. It's bad. That's bad, man. All right, we're gonna want to unload a mortar team in this space, I think. That should be fairly effective. They can hit a lot of stuff from there. And then a mortar team, it's 4 range. A mortar team in like this space is pretty okay. And these guys, we're gonna... I don't know. We'll figure it out next turn. Next turn's when we're gonna start offloading. Okay, I appreciate that. That's just a wasted turn because they were going to get that kill for sure with their other unit anyway. So I think we probably just roll through... Oh, right. Sorry. These guys have to deploy first. You can't use the guns on the tanks until after you've deployed the dudes. So I think we just roll through and we have both the tanks machine gun this unit. There's absolutely no reason for these guys to be alive, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without the Jeeps, so you know, it's not nothing. I don't really want these guys here, but we had to deploy them. You are going to drop these guys off. Does it make more sense to go forward a space? Not really, I don't think. Alright, so we can do lots and lots of damage to this rifle team, but also, do we need to? Is it helpful? So we have some... We don't know exactly what their situation is over here, but we know that this is a problem. We definitely need to get just some normal rifle dudes adjacent to this. I think the play is... This guy actually moves somewhere else. We move the APC to here, and then next turn offload in these 3 spaces. So I don't know where this Jeep is supposed to go. Or what we want to do with these guys. I guess I could just sit still, open fire, and deploy right now. And we can fan out into the trees around. I mean, obviously, I'm always leery of letting off infantry any further away than they absolutely have to be from their target, because they are hard to use. Let's move you around to here. We don't want to actually be in range of this thing. But, I mean, like, what we'd like to do is get the border guys into this part of the forest, right? So you're just going to do here, which feels pretty bad. You are, in fact, just going to deploy. Trying to figure out where the anti-tank crew goes. It's probably just this space. Yeah, let's just go ahead and offload. We're gonna be fighting a pitched infantry battle here. And I think the Jeep just bails. I don't think there's a lot of sense in having that Jeep fight infantry. And if it's bailing, it has to bail backwards, sadly. You can run it this way. There's nowhere we can move this to that will matter even a tiny little bit. I don't think. Yeah, that's fine. And then, where do we move you to? How far away do you have to be safe from that gun? Far. The answer is very far. All of their stuff has a ton of range. Okay, well, don't much care for that. I don't care. I'm actually happy if these guys move up to here to threaten the mortar team, because that's just a wasted move and then we immediately kill them, so I don't want to block that space for that reason or anything. We know that they moved their truck up onto this, into the middle of this area, so there's nowhere safe over here. There's kind of just nowhere for this thing to be. Yep, and they've got... Oh, we could be right here. We can't see very much, though. I'm going to do this. Okay, just kind of get a little bit of view to the south, and the trees will cover most of us. It is worth noting that it would not be very difficult for them to capture that last control point at the moment. We are not really in a great position to play defense, so let's be cautious if they move forward. Right now, we have such a mass of bodies that I can't imagine them pulling that off, but won't be true forever. Okay, so we don't actually care about these guys at all, and I think I'm just going to move this unit away from them. And really, when I was deploying, I should have just deployed them to here or something to get them back. I suppose, alternatively, we could have this rifle team move up and we could team clear them. But, I mean, obviously, our real move is this. Alright. That's the thing that matters. I may as well do this, so I guess, actually, why not kill you? And then definitely don't get adjacent to the anti-vehicle team. You guys are just not gonna move, I think? Here, so we definitely want this then. Yeah, you guys can just bounce, it's fine. We don't care about those dudes at all. Not even one tiny little bit. You can't move and then shoot, but also a mortar team has no danger, presents no danger to you at all. I think we're just going to have these guys sit for a minute. They will have rolls eventually. And that means you can't really move forward. Now that you've deployed, you can move. And I think we'll move you this way. I guess here's a good reason to back up, is that probably this should be the space this guy's in. And then I don't have any idea what to do with this Jeep. Maybe load this anti-armor team into the Jeep and then the Jeep tries to drive them forward to somewhere that matters? But we are not going to get anything done before that last wave of reinforcements shows up. Like, zero hope. Okay, we got very lucky there. What do we want to... How do we want to deal with this? We'll have you do the cap. I guess I'm just going to shoot these guys here, and then we'll bring this down to finish the job, so that the actual infantry can just keep moving. So, I don't know where you guys are headed, but it's definitely forward. And now that that's gone, move you up to here. And I think this makes sense. We end up unloading the mortar team into this space next turn, and then these guys can come forward and hitch a ride. And I don't really know what to do with you. You're safe, and you're providing me information about anything crossing from the east edge of the map to the western part where we're fighting. But you really don't have a lot of great vision right now, and I'm really worried that if I move the thing at all, I'm going to end up getting it shot down. I'm going to leave it for now. For this turn, at least, it is going to sit. So one more turn until Phase 2 deployment, and then probably 5 more turns after that. So, I mean, somebody's got to go in and eat the initial fire from that Jeep, or from that truck, right? We're just going to go ahead and do it. He may not even successfully deal damage to us. Oh, hey now. A computer-controlled gun hiding in the trees. I am surprised. You guys are one tile too far away to contribute to fighting that. That's a shame. Alright, well, let's go ahead and... If I run these guys forward, I think there's a pretty good chance that the gun is going to shoot them instead of these guys. And I think I would prefer it not shoot my anti-tank unit, so let's move them around like this. I was going to embark and just get driven up to the front, but now I wonder if that's a good move. Well, one thing we can do is we can just drive the Jeep to here, and then unload these guys adjacent to the truck next turn, and that they have to shoot at the truck if I do that. I guess I'm making a lot of assumptions about what the battlefield's going to look like in a turn or two here. Right now... Yeah, I'm just going to wait here. Right now we have unquestioned dominance of this thing because of the advantage of the armor. Let's just hold on to that. So, do we want to take a minute to kill these guys, or do we just want to keep ignoring them? They are, like, making our movement slightly more awkward. We're probably going to load you two into the APC. They are potentially a danger to a Jeep. But I kind of feel like we just want to keep moving. It's hard to justify wasting time on them. Alright, so this whole area is really awkwardly shaped. So let's see, we know there's a truck right here, right? So that would make it unsafe to move the helicopter any closer than this? Oh, it was the truck right here? Yeah, it must have been, because it was making this whole corridor unsafe. I'm going to move up to here. Okay. Grab us some vision for the advance. I think we are actually going to end up killing these guys, not even because it's the right thing to do, but because I don't have any other shots to take with my units as I move past. And we're going to run a couple of guys up this way. Very little point in moving the Jeep through over here, because we can't really keep it safe. I don't know what to do with this Jeep. Doesn't seem like it has a lot of play at the moment. Let me remember to take that shot. Y'all thought I was going to forget, and I understand why. Listen, I get it, I know. I think we're just going to move you to right here, and I'm going to be indecisive for a minute on that one. That thing's got a noise. So I'm going to assume... Hey, what a surprise, he rolled max damage. I'm going to assume that this thing counts as infantry and not... That was my Discord, not yours. Don't worry about it. No, okay, that is a vehicle. We get to hit it with the big gun. Let's definitely take this shot. Okay, could have been a little bit better. Let me, real quick here, tab out and remute Discord, which was definitely already muted. But then I restarted my computer and I forgot to fix some stuff. Does this thing have... It only has 2 range? Okay. I don't care about that. That doesn't seem all that dangerous. I guess you guys should just finish them off. Losing a turn off of a random infantry unit is not exactly a huge problem for us. You have on board? You have an anti-armor team? You know what? I'm going to disengage this anti-armor team because I want to move the mortar team faster. And then... This is just a normal rifle team. I guess we'll move in like here. The fact that the gun on the Jeep has 2 range is going to make these guys have to play differently. We got like 5 turns before their reinforcements show up. We are not going to finish the job in 5 turns. Okay, that's kind of what I figured they would do. It is probably not actually a great play for them. Although I will say I'm a little disappointed that that was how that came out. So do I let the Jeep just take a... I think I do. I think I just let the Jeep get shot once, clear these guys, and then take this. Honestly, these guys probably end up shooting at the infantry. Alright, I'm gonna just keep slowly creeping some of these units forward this way. Let's see, you don't really have anything you can do. We don't care about that thing shooting at tanks because it can't get through their armor under any circumstances. It is a small threat to an APC. Very, very small. So we're gonna probably just deploy infantry to kill it at the beginning of next turn. And then... I don't know exactly. And then is a great mystery to me. We'll figure it out later. So we're going to be moving toward both of the last two capture points. But not quickly enough. So this is a no-brainer. I'm going to move the Jeep back to catch these guys. I was debating whether we wanted to move the APC back for him. But I think what we do instead is drive the APC up to here, shoot those guys, load up, and if he recaps the point, we have the tools to just kill him. I would prefer he not do that. But it's not the end of the world if he does it. Alright, you guys go handle this, which you can do trivially. And then this tank needs to roll forward into a dangerous position. So obviously, killing this guy is something of a priority. Unfortunately, we're gonna... Next turn we move forward, then he shoots us for 1 to 2 damage, then we shoot back, then we roll the 2 tanks forward, or we just right now commit both the tanks to trying this. Odds are pretty good that we get a kill with both tanks, but odds are a tricky thing. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. So we are on the clock a little bit here. Alright, please do not roll minimum damage. Alright. That puts you outside the range of that thing. We just creep forward. Play a little bit safe with you. I could have just fired, but I think this is probably smarter. Alright, I would like it very much if these guys spent their turn fleeing from the very powerful guns on the APC. Or doing nothing is also acceptable. That's really interesting. I was not expecting that at all. Ah, it's a shame. Well, it might get us. That's a possibility. Let's... how do we want to handle this? I think we actually want to spend a turn firing stationary. Because, like, we need to clear these guys out, not because we care about them as a unit, but because they are actually occupying the space and preventing us from moving forward in a way that could be a problem. And then, obviously, we have a huge advantage here. You guys... I don't even know if there's anything useful for you to do, frankly. So we could go for the run here. My concern with that, of course, is that we can't guarantee that these dudes will not step onto the space afterward. Maybe I should disembark a team. Just to make sure, right? Because if we fire, we can even move... Well, I can't move and disembark. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot. Alright, we'll leave a team behind. And you guys can... Okay. Because obviously a recap at this point would be real awkward. And in fact, let's just play for that a little bit. So, we know that there's a truck over here. We don't have any idea what's going on down here. I'm gonna... that's ugly. Well, next turn we'll know some things. And unfortunately, we are about to get deployed on. Alright, I think you guys are going to turn around and just make sure this goes the way we need it to go. You guys have this while the rest of us move forward. Okay. That's important info. So we can't actually close up very much at all. This we could do, though. So they're about to deploy 10 points of stuff directly on top of us. It's not great. It's not great. Oh, I'm like totally disregarding my stuff in the backfield. Which does matter. Like that's not a great thing to be doing. Yeah, go ahead. Take some time shooting. So, it said deployment complete. We didn't see them put out anything. Which is definitely interesting. Alright, well... I mean, we capped this, right? There's no two ways about that. We gotta get down here and be a threat. So we are a capture threat now. We can't just stand and fight. Yeah, there's no way for me to get enough damage, even with maximum luck. What we can do is deploy the mortar team and then fall back. And how do we fall back? I'm going to have the APC drop further back than the Jeep, so that if they move in such a way that the path clears, we have a fast-moving unit in front. And then... Okay. Did you know? Tanks. Tanks are good. Tanks are very important. Oh, they deployed behind us? I am baffled that that's a thing they were allowed to do, and given the ability to do that, I'm baffled that they didn't uncap, because that prevents them from winning the mission. Yeah, that doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
Well, I'll be fucked harder than a spatchcock turkey.
That... Wow. I'll say this, Sergeant Benjamin Dancer has a way with imagery. He's like a poet.
You ever see anything like that, Private?
No, sir. It looks like nothing, sir.
It looks like a whole goddamn lot of nothing. Tar your breeches. Going in.
Into that, sir.
That's right, Trooper. Step on it.
Yes, sir.
Boy, that seems like a real bad idea, huh? Like a profoundly bad idea? Explore the strange world that lies beyond the dark zones. Well, listen, I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day or anything, but unfortunately, we are out of time for the moment. So thank you all so much for watching. And when you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to find out what's inside that great big shimmer. And we'll see you then.